Next, I'd like to call up, I think I have this right, Susan Olsen and Robert Clegg?
Clegg.
Clegg. Okay, very good. Thank you very much. Thank you for being here. Former senator, I should also mention that Mr. Clegg is the former senator of many years. So welcome back to the LOB and the Health Education Committee.
Thank you. For the record, I was also a member of the House for 8 years.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Make sure you speak into the mic when you both speak, okay?
Thank you for having us both. I represent Pro-Gun New Hampshire, which is a nonpartisan, non-gender restricted group of people interested in the Second Amendment. And a lot of our members are gun store owners, regular people of liberty, as well as many of the people who are reps and senators in the state today. Do you want to introduce yourself?
My name is Susan Olsen. I'm the Director of Legislation for the Women's, pardon me with a cold, the Women's Defense League of New Hampshire, a volunteer organization that teaches hundreds and hundreds of women firearm safety through education and training. And we actually are not gender restricted. We're just not going to let you vote for 100 years.
I guess you told me.
Yeah.
In reference to House Bill 101, while I greatly respect the prime sponsor, I have to say that the issues she's trying to address don't get addressed with this bill. Nothing is going to stop the person who wants to enter the school and create mayhem from creating mayhem, no matter what laws we pass, whether we restrict knives or we allow knives. It just doesn't work, and it never has. And if we take a look at the reason why people have shot up schools, when you get right down to it, most of them are on some kind of medication to address a mental health disorder, and some of those medications given to people under the age of 18 are known to make them extremely aggressive, yet nothing's being done. So I suggest that if we really want to take a look at what's happening, let's take a look at the amount of drugs we're prescribing to children who supposedly have ADHD or other issues that somebody wants to take care of using medicines. I will also say that I don't know of any school shootings that have gone unreported. And I know that came from the Lebanon School District, but I'd like to know who tells them those things, because it's not true. Anytime there's a school shooting, we hear about it.
Thank you. As a member of the Women's Defense League, I am also an NRA certified firearms instructor for pistols. I'm an NRA certified range safety officer, and I'm also an NRA certified Eddie Eagle instructor, where we teach safety to small children. House Bill 101, as Representative Callie Pitt stated, is quite a simple bill. However, as was also stated, New Hampshire is a Dillon's Rules state, which means that political subdivisions may only enact legislation that they are able to, given the authority from the state of New Hampshire. And New Hampshire has a long history of passing enabling legislation. However, House Bill 101 would completely pervert 159.26 preemption on firearms regulation. The second paragraph of 159.26 voids any and all municipal regulations that do so. According to the New Hampshire Department of Education, there are 180 individual school districts, 103 school administrative units scattered across and through New Hampshire's 248 towns. Under the simple language of House Bill 101, where I live, which is the Kearsarge School District, the towns of Bradford, New London, Newbury, Springfield, Sutton, and Warner could adopt an administrative-wide firearms policy, leaving the firearms community in that SAU at the mercy of invisible boundary lines, which, even if memorized by those in the community, would place them at risk of violating state statute when simply rolling into Henniker for a cup of coffee at the Dunkin' Donuts on 202. As an instructor, I am routinely armed. I can't possibly memorize all of these jurisdictions. I can imagine this bill might also be payback for last year's House Bill 1749, which sought to punish municipalities that imposed or attempted to adopt such firearms regulations. I can imagine the sponsors believe that this is a way to ban firearms in school used as polling places during elections. Intentional or not, House Bill 101 usurps the spirit and the law of New Hampshire's firearm preemption and places every member of New Hampshire's firearm community at the risk of invisible political subdivision boundaries and unknowables and ever-changing school boards. Who's to say these boards might not change their policies when the board constitution changes? If that is your intent, to vest each and every New Hampshire school board and administrative unit with oversight of New Hampshire's constitutionally guaranteed right of self-defense, the sponsors should have the courage to say so. If that is not your intent, you must vote House Bill 101 inexpedient to legislate.
Mr. Chairman, if you'll indulge me for one more minute, the drug-free zones don't work either. And I can attest to that after having spent many, many, many years working with the police canine units in the state of New Hampshire. So to think that another one's going to work, it doesn't. And I will say that I'm not the only one in this room that probably lived through duck and cover. From the time I was in elementary school all the way up, what we learned from that was that life isn't exactly the way we want it to be, and that we have to be ready to protect ourselves. So the idea that we can shelter the kids and teach them that life is grand by restricting more people from carrying guns doesn't work. And as for the gun-free zone, the gun-free zone in New Hampshire is enforced. The only person who can carry a gun on campus is someone who has a license, has been vetted, and police officers. Not everybody can carry. If you don't have a license to carry, you can't carry in a gun-free zone. And I would suggest that we, inexpedient to legislate, and actually look at what's causing these kids to go into schools and shoot everything up. Thank you.
And thank you very much for your testimony.
Grok TV.